Hi, I'm Sarah Greaux, and today I'm going to be talking to you about climate change policy. Have you ever just sat down and watched the news and thought to yourself, what is global warming, and why is it cold if it's supposed to be warming, and why is it considered a bad thing? Well, today I'm here to persuade you that climate change is real and is a terrible thing and is on the uprise and does not seem to be stopping anytime soon. I will be using my three main points, which are carbon emissions are on the uprise. There are plenty of feasible ways my classmates and all the young adults to adolescents can address this issue and get it under control. And lastly, there are individuals who will have many objections towards this issue. 1. Carbon emissions are on the uprise. According to the recent article, The Causes of Climate Change, scientists attribute the global warming trend observed since the mid-20th century to human expansion of the greenhouse effect. Warming that results when the atmosphere traps heat radiating from Earth towards space. The long-lived gases that happen to remain semi-permanently in the atmosphere and happen not to respond physically or even chemically to the changes in the temperature are described as the forcing climate change. All the greenhouse gases contribute to the issue of climate change, along with certain human activities and due to the burning of fossil fuels like coal, and has also increased the concentration of the atmospheric carbon dioxide. These greenhouse gases that are major contributors to this issue are water vapor, carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, and chlorofluorocarbons. And I got this information from The Causes of Climate Change 2021, February 8th. And according to the recent article, future climate change will affect plant soil differently. A new European study has found that soil carbon loss is more sensitive to climate change compared to carbon taken by plants. In drier regions, the soil carbon loss has decreased, but in the wetter regions, the soil carbon loss has increased. And I got this information from Staff Writers, March 15, 2017. Future climate change will affect plants and soil differently, Space Daily. Now that we have an idea of what is causing climate change, let us come up with ways we can address this issue and maybe get it under control. 2. There are plenty of feasible ways my classmates and all the young adults to adolescents can address this issue and get it under control. According to the recent article, here are 20 ways you can help fight climate change. There are plenty of feasible things we can do right now to make a difference. These things could be like using less water when you're brushing your teeth, shut the water off, using less plastics, or even go for a walk to your destination, take a bus, ride a bike, and then even changing all of your light bulbs to LED light bulbs in your house. I got this information from Weed and M, 2020, September 17th, 20 Best Ways to Stop Climate Change in 2020. According to the recent article, Transforming Our World, the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. This agenda is a plan of action for people, planet, and prosperity. It also seeks to strengthen universal peace, larger freedom. We need a healthy planet for our future generations. And I got this information from Transforming Our World, the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, United Nations, 2015. Next, we move on to my visual aids. Here I have a chart that shows you the global average temperature change by the different agencies and how they cannot agree on a set degrees in Celsius up until 2025. And next, I have a picture showing you one side, the Earth that it's supposed to look like, and the other side is showing you what will happen if we continue doing what we do and how climate change will affect it. We now know what we can do to address this issue and what we can do to make a change, but there's always going to be those individuals who are going to have objections towards climate change. According to the recent article, 6 arguments to refute your climate-denying relative this holiday. There are always going to be that one relative who denies climate change. They will often say that it is not man-made and that it is natural. They will claim that there is no point to make any changes to fix anything. They will also claim that all the plants and animals will adapt to the changes that the planet is making. And the biggest one that they will have an objection to is that they're going to say climate change is not real and that it's not going to affect anyone. And I got this information from 6 arguments to refute to your climate denying relatives this holiday, 2019, December 17th. Sorry about that. And in conclusion, climate change is real and is a terrible thing, and is only on the uprise and does not seem to be stopping anytime soon. You now know the nature of the problem and cause, and the policy solutions, and the possible objections to this issue that many people will have. And you were able to receive this information by my 3 main points, which are 1, carbon emissions are on the uprise. 2, there are plenty of feasible ways my classmates and all the young adults to adolescents can address this issue and get it under control. And 3, there are going to be individuals who will have many objections to this issue. I know that if I personally can do these small, simple things to help my planet, then you can too. So next time you think about littering or leaving the water on while brushing your teeth, just think about what can happen to your planet in the long run. And now I move on to my Q&A section. My first question is, why is climate change a bad thing? Well, the answer to that is, climate change is a bad thing because it deliberates the ozone layer, which protects us from the sun rays. And when the sun rays penetrate through, they warm the ice and will soon cause flooding of the earth. We must slow our progress to be 1 degree or less to prevent that from happening. My last question is, why is climate change considered man-made? Well, climate change is considered man-made because we are the people who design and produce products which give off CO2 emissions, like cars, and are finally trying to design and produce and drive electric vehicles. Even if you have a hybrid, they still give off emissions, maybe not like a gas guzzler SUV, but they still do. And today I had 1 audience member, and that was Connor. He's right here. Thank you for listening to my presentation.